Great. Welcome. Happy early 4th of July. The week hopefully is a short one for you. You get to celebrate with some friends and family, socially distanced, or I don't know, with masks on. Anyway, I'm glad that you're here and joining us this afternoon. We are continuing with the focus on opening throughout the hips, the chest and the shoulders, and making sure that we're doing lots of twists so that we can expel some of this heat that starts to build in the belly throughout the core. So today to start, we're going to actually come into a reclined supported Baddha Konasana. So if you have one of your pillows or a cushion, maybe if you have pillows from the bed, maybe get 2 of them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build this little reclining, I guess, chaise almost at the back of our mat. So if you have a block or some books or another smaller pillow, you want to stack that at the back of the mat. If you're using a block, maybe it's on your 2nd level. And then start to build up that thicker kind of cushion, maybe 2 pillows. And you're just going to lie it long ways. So you can see that it's a little bit of a recline as well as an incline here because we built up some of the support at the back of the mat. And so when you've built that up, maybe I need to adjust my camera just a little bit so you can see down there a bit more. There you go. Should be able to see that a little bit better. And then what you're going to do is you're going to scoot your booty up, right up against that cushion pillow, and then slowly walk yourself down so that your head is still on top of the support here. And then since it's a Baddha Konasana, we already got the reclined thing going here, you're going to bring the soles of your feet together down whatever distance is needed depending on the flexibility into your hips. So like we talked earlier this week, if you're more flexible, you'll be able to bring the heels into that sacred space, or you can extend them out, giving a little bit longer of a diamond shape in between there. So find that spot that looks comfortable, feels comfortable, and allow your hands to come out to the side. Maybe you rest your elbows on the earth, and close your eyes. I don't know where you're at, but I have a beautiful summer storm coming in through the background. Allow yourself to settle into this space. I'm going to take a look, see what's set up. Oh, never mind. Hopefully you feel comfortable. I can't see based on the camera angles, so don't worry about changing anything. Allow yourself to recline here. Having your breath come to that natural pattern, that strong inhale, and an equal exhale out. Maybe you envision that feeling of your hands on your lower belly. Imagine your breath pressing into that space as you expand. And then pulling up and out, sending that breath to the top of the body on the exhale. The opening of the heart, the opening of the chest and the hips is framing throughout our heart center, like I had mentioned to you earlier in the week. And so by opening these spaces, that heat, that aggression, maybe some say, that force, or maybe resentment hostility are allowed to expel themselves. I don't know if you can hear the rain in my background, the thunder. That's nature's force for exhaling all of its agitation. And by framing that space, opening throughout our hips, throughout our chest, and our shoulders, we can do the same for ourselves. In doing that for ourselves, we then can maybe start to do that for others, because all learning begins within our body, our home. So maybe you'll take an intention for the day on being more open-minded, open-chested, like we were saying, opening in the heart. And since the hips often hold tensions of the past, maybe we can let go of some of those points of contention. Breathing in and breathing out. Do that a couple more times. Equal on the inhale and equal on the exhale. And if you've been able to figure out that intention for the next 60 minutes, that's great. If not, I offer you compassion as a pointed intention. Compassion for yourself, compassion for others. And on your next inhale, let's bring our hands to a prayer position and settle our knuckles into that space of intuition, our third eye. And let's inhale that compassion or whatever your intention is. Exhaling out. Do that once more. Inhaling compassion or your intention. Exhaling out. And if you'd like to join me on an inhale for Om, let's inhale together. Om. And on your next exhale, bring your hands down alongside your body. Start to blink open your eyes. And then place the palms of your hands to the outside of your knee. Help them come down together. And then roll over onto your right side. Be careful as you roll off of your prop. And then take those props off of our practice space. Not too far, we might choose to use them later on in class. And then come to a comfortable seat. That could be a supported Virasana, sticking a block in between your ankles as you sit up on your shins, or it could be a cross-legged position in Sukhasana. Let's inhale our arms up as we look up. Exhale as we bring our arms down, tucking our chin. Do that again. Inhale as we rise up. Exhale as we bring our arms down, tucking our chin. And the next inhale, bring your right arm up and then take it over to the left side. One of our first twists, side stretches of the class. So have a nice bend in the left elbow, grounding down through the right hip to allow the entire right side to lift up and then over. Maybe you gaze up towards the sky, or if it feels better for your neck, look down at your left fingertips. And then on the next inhale, bring your left arm up to meet your right arm and clasp your fingers together. Just release your pointer fingers like you can see me doing here. And then inhale as you stack your spine, squeezing your arms together and up. And then exhale, release your right hand down to the mat. As you inhale up, then slowly take your left arm out to the right side. Breathing here. Sending that grounding energy into the left hip here. Allowing yourself to go up, stretching through the intercostal muscles and then over. Taking a gaze down at your right fingers. Taking a gaze up at the sky. And then on your next inhale, bring your hands up overhead once again, interlocking the fingers but releasing the pointers. And inhale as you stretch up, stacking your spine. Exhale as you bring your hands down to the earth. If you are sitting in cross-legged position, switch the crossing of your legs. Send that fresh blood into both of them. And we're going to go into some seated cat-cows at this time. So I'm going to ask that on your inhale, you tuck your chin, really rounding throughout the back body. And let's hold here for a couple breaths. Really stretching out, maybe just like we do when we're doing a child's pose. Start to tent the fingers on the tops of our knees. Maybe take one shoulder forward, then the other. And then come to a point of stillness. Send that breath into the back body, those shoulder blades as they're expanding out and around, almost as if you were about to take off. These arms, maybe prehistorically they were wings. You're taking off, out and around. And then on your next inhale, let's lift our chest, our chin, bring our hands behind our back, and open up through the front body. In order for us to open through the front body, it's sometimes easier to imagine that your shoulder blades are coming together. Allow your neck to open, exposing the throat, but in a safe manner so that you're not just allowing your head to fall back. Taking your breaths here. And like we did before, maybe you will roll your neck side to side slightly. Feeling that little cushion of those muscles in your upper shoulder blades as you roll side to side. And then on your next inhale, come back up into neutral. And then let's do that at a little bit faster pace. So inhale as you tuck your chin round throughout the back. Exhale as you open through the heart and chest. Inhale as you round, tucking your chin. Exhale as you open through the heart and chest. A couple more times like that, taking any little movements that you feel like your body might need today. Nice. And then when you're done with that last round, come into a neutral spine here. And if you're sitting up on any props, let's take those out to the side. We're gonna come into a plank position. So nicely stack your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists. And then send your legs back. You can have your feet parallel so that it looks almost like your arms and legs are on a railroad track, or you can have your feet together. Whatever feels most stable for you. And then we're gonna bring that right knee to the right shoulder and then send it back. Bring that right knee into the nose and send it back. Really engaging through the core here. Let's do that on the other side. Left knee to the left shoulder, send it back. Left knee to the nose, send it back. Dropping your knees down to the earth. Extending your arms forward, coming into a child's pose. Taking a couple breaths here. And then this time, let's press back up into the plank, but then let's put our feet together in the middle of the mat. And then we're gonna lift up on the right hand as we shift the weight, turning onto our sides of our left foot, stacking them together, coming into our side plank. Have a micro bend in that left arm as you lift, sending the hips high, and then turn back to center, lowering onto your knees, coming into that child's pose once again. Let's do that on the other side. Legs together at the back of the mat, pressing into your plank, and then rolling over, lifting your left hand to the sky, having a micro bend in that right arm, really stacking the hips, lifting up, and then rolling back to center, tucking our knees down, coming into our child's pose. From here, come back up into your tabletop position. And I'm gonna ask that you take your left foot and turn it out to the side. You can see me doing this little wag here. I'm pivoting on my knee. So I'm gonna take it out to the side as I step my right foot back and open to the top with my right hand. And then let's take the hand down and then lift it up, feeling that stretch along the right side of the body. Just like before when we were in our side plank, make sure that your left arm has a micro bend in it. And then the next time you bring your hand down alongside the right leg, let's keep it there. And then come up onto the tippy the tip of your fingers. Take your fingers on your left arm. Bring that right leg up into the air, bending the knee, and starting to stretch out through the front of the leg here. Should feel that all along that front side body. And then release that right leg down, both hands to the earth, coming back into our tabletop position. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So once again, we're gonna pivot on our right knee, take it out to the side, come up into those tented fingers of the right hand, and then extend our left foot out and down, left hand up to the sky. And then bring that left hand up and back, stretching alongside all those tiny muscles from the tips of our pinky the whole way down into our toes. And then the next time your hand comes down to your leg, kick that leg back, grabbing, stretching out through the front body, making sure you have that bend in your right elbow. Breathing here. And then release your leg, turning back onto all fours from here. Give your booty a little shake. And from here, let's press back into our heels. Take a couple steps as you come into your downward facing dog, the first one of class. to allow your body to feel all the feels for what it's like today. I like to give myself a little shake, bend my knees, and then come to a point of stillness. Really pressing into the earth with your hands, sending your hips up to the sky. And then come up onto your toes as you start to walk your feet to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold here. Have that bend in your knees still. Maybe pedal out, dropping down through the crown of your head. And then slowly start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders coming up last. Inhale. And then exhale as we drop them down. Do that again. Inhale as we bring them up to our ears. Exhale as we take them back and down. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Choose how you'd like your feet to be for Tadasana. Toes together, ankles apart, or your feet are 2 fists width apart. And then let's inhale our arms up overhead. Exhale, let's stay in the center. So bring your hands down throughout the midline of your body, folding over onto yourself. Inhale as you come to your flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, pressing your hands down into the earth and stepping that right foot back. Coming to our low lunge here. And then dropping onto our knee, untucking our toes, walking our hands up onto our left inner thigh. Starting to intensify that stretch throughout the front hip flexor. And then place your hands down on the opposite sides of your leg. Rock onto the heel so that you flex that front foot, allowing yourself to stretch out through the back of the leg. And then walk your hands forward, pressing into the earth, extending that back leg up off of the mat, pressing through your hands and stepping into our downward facing dog. Breathing here. Pardon. And then let's rock forward into our plank once again. Lowering onto our knees, our chest and our chin, pressing forward, upwards into our low cobra. Exhale as we took our forehead to the mat, pressing back and coming into our downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, allow yourself to come up on your toes, bend your knees, and then walk or step your way to the front of the mat. Inhale as we rise to a halfway flat back. Exhale as we fold forward. And inhale, once again, coming up straight through the midline, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that on the other side. Let's inhale our arms straight up in the air. Exhale, bending at our hips, bringing our hands down through our midline, staying contained, releasing into a forward fold. Inhale for our halfway lift. Exhale, bending our knees, planting our hands and stepping back with our left foot, untucking the knee and the toe, crawling our arms up into that inner right thigh, stretching out the left side this time. Breathing here. And then allow yourself to rock back, sending that flexed foot and the stretch alongside the back of the body. And then walk your hands forward once again. Untuck that back toe, come into our low lunge. Press down into the earth. and step that right foot back, pressing into our downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then allow yourself to walk to the front of the mat, coming to our forward fold. Inhale for our halfway lift. Exhale as we fold forward, releasing once again. Inhale as we bring our hands together up through the center line and overhead. And then exhale, hands at heart center. Breathing here. Nice. From here, I'm going to take you, I don't think that we've done this move before. It's continuing to stretch out through the sides. So stay at the front of your mat, but I'm just going to turn this way so you can see how I'm doing this. It's called Krishna pose. And so what you're going to do is your arms are up overhead, interlaced together. And then you're going to put the weight into your left leg as you kind of curtsy onto the toes of the right foot. And so from here, you can either allow the left hand to gently guide the right hand over, or if you would like to come into that God-like pose, that deity, it can look like this. And so you see I'm bending, I'm flexing here. So our right leg, once again, is stepping behind us. We're up on the toes. My knees are flexible. And then I'm stretching throughout the right side of the body. And then bring your hands back up overhead, stepping forward as you exhale, diving down into your forward fold. From here, I want you to bend your knees and come onto the tippy toes, those 10 fingertips, and extend that right leg back. You want to have your toe facing down, your left leg is nice and strong. And maybe you'll be able to walk your hands onto the left thigh, coming into a capital letter T. And then bend both of the knees, stepping our feet together, folding forward. And then stepping back into our plank, dropping to our knees, chest and chin. Inhaling as we come to our cobra. Exhaling as we tuck our forehead and lift our hips to the sky for our downward facing dog. And then once again, let's walk to the top of the mat. Inhale as we roll up our spine, one vertebrae at a time. Head and shoulders last. Hands to heart center. So we'll do that on the other side. So this time we're going to be moving our left leg. So our right leg is nice and strong. Arms up overhead, fingers together, and then bending both knees, taking that left foot behind us, and then maybe you slightly guide your left hand over with the right, or maybe both hands kind of frame your core here. And then inhale, stepping our feet together, arms overhead, coming into our forward fold. Nice job. From here, you're going to tighten your fingers, bend that right knee, and then see if we can press that left leg back. It's the foot is flexed, and then maybe you'll walk your hands up onto the thigh of the right foot as you come to that capital letter T. Bending both legs, allowing yourself to fold forward, stepping back through our plank pose, lowering down on the inhale, pressing up through our cobra pose, and tucking our toes, sending our hips to the sky as we move into our downward facing dog. Bending our knees, really stretching out through the shoulders, expanding throughout the back body. And then come up on your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward as you travel to the front of your mat here. Once again, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Neck and shoulders coming up last. Nice job. From here, we're going to inhale our arms up. We're going to travel with the right foot, taking it into our Krishna pose out behind. I'm showing you what it looks like from the side. Here's what it looks like from the front. Bringing our hands up, our legs together, folding forward. Inhale as we rise to our halfway. I'm going to take a step back with our right foot, coming into our low lunge here. And I want you to walk that left foot over to the outer edge of your mat. So both hands are on the inside of the mat. Plant the left hand down. Spin the right foot open as you lift up into the sky. Breathing here for a twist. And just like before, if it feels comfortable for you, feel free to extend your arm up over your ear. Keep it straight up in the air at 12 o'clock. Or maybe you even take it behind your body, stretching out through that right shoulder. And then wherever you are, bring your both hands down into the earth. Come up onto the toes of the back foot. Lower down on that right knee and untuck the toe. And then if it's possible, maybe you can, I'm going to move back a little bit so you can see, maybe you can roll that front foot open onto the outer pinky toe edge. This should be a nice opening throughout the hip joint, making sure that it doesn't feel too much strain on the knee. Keeping your hands down on the mat. And then roll back onto a flat foot on the left side. Untuck the back toe and step that back foot to the outside of your fingers. So now your feet are nice and wide at the edge of your mat. Bring your hands to heart center, turn your toes out, and squat down here. Let me turn so you can see what it looks like from the front. Vinyasa pose. So your toes are out, your hips are open, you've nestled your elbows into your inner thighs, and you're lifting throughout your chest. Nice job. Release your hands down onto the mat. And allow yourself to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders last to rise. Let's inhale as we bring our arms up overhead. And then take that left foot behind, curtsying for our Krishna pose on this side. Extending the stretch with the right arm. And then on your inhale, bring your feet together. Exhale as you fold down, forward. And then inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale as you press your hands into the mat, stepping back with your left foot, dropping that knee down, untucking the toe, and walking your right foot out to the edge of your mat. Spinning onto the inner arch of your left foot and opening your left arm to the sky. You can take that left arm over top of your ear, sending it back in that nice little rainbow movement here. And then allow yourself to rock back onto the ball of the foot on the left leg. Untuck that toe. And then roll that right foot open just a little bit. Here, you can see it a little bit better if I scoot over. So I'm like this, and I'm rolling open with my foot, leading with my hip, not my knee. And then maybe you allow your hands to come down to the earth. Breathing into that space that we created in our hips. And then rock back onto the right foot. Both hands on the earth. Untuck that left foot. And then step that left foot to the outside of the left mat so that they're both, all four of your hands and feet are in a line. And then allow yourself to bring your hands to heart center as you press into Malasana, opening throughout your inner thighs. I'll show you on this side here. Breathing here. And then allow your hands to come down as you roll up. And then walk your feet out a little bit wider. Maybe you go to the long side of your mat, depending on how you're set up. And then we're going to take our weight over to the right side, allowing the left foot to extend up and flex. And then rock over onto the left side, allowing that right foot to lift up and flex. And continue like that for a couple times, back and forth on each side. Sending breath into this inner thigh. Maybe you feel it in the back of your leg. Or maybe it's even stretching out that foot that you're sitting on. A lot of people have issues with the arches of their feet, so this is a nice stretch as well. Twice more on each side. And then when you're done, allow yourself to flatten out through your back, hands on hips, and slowly rise up. Coming to the top of your mat, meeting me here. Let's space our feet about hip width distance. And I'm gonna have us come into a chair pose. It's gonna be a modified chair pose though. You're gonna come up onto your toes and then slowly lower down into a squat, allowing yourself to roll back. Coming into boat pose, Navasana. Strengthening through our abs and our supportive lower back. Maybe you grab behind your thighs. Maybe you touch your toes down on the mat. Placing your hands on your knees, leading with your chest and chin. And then allow yourself to just sit upright, give your legs a little bounce back and forth. And then take your right foot into your left inner thigh. And I want us to take a stretch out over the left leg. Rather than allowing ourselves to center our chest and come down over our knee, we're going to do it a little differently this time to continue the stretch along the side body. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand on the inner thigh and imagine that you're massaging that I don't know if there's a line, a seam on your pants on that inner left leg. All the while your right hand is slowly coming up and over. So eventually, someday you'll be able to bring that left hand and right hand together. No need to force it. And if it's comfortable, you can look up at your armpit, you can look down at the earth, sending that grounding breath into the hip and the outer right side. And then inhale, bringing your hands up overhead, turning to the right side a little bit, taking a bit of a counter twist. And then let's do that on the other side as well. So right leg is extended out, left leg bends, the bottom of your foot comes into the inner thigh. And just like we did on the other side, imagine yourself kind of feeling along the inner seam of your pants. Eventually your hand will reach the inner arch of your right foot, and you bring your left hand up and over, feeling that stretch throughout the side, back body, into the front side body, looking down at the earth or looking up at the sky. Breathing here. And then on your next inhale, bring both hands up overhead, releasing them down. Both feet out in front, giving them a little bounce here. Nice job. And then let's bring the soles of our feet together, just like we started class. And you're gonna grab underneath. I always imagine my feet like a book that are closed here, and so my hands on the outside of the book. And I'm gonna inhale as I stack my spine on itself. Exhale as I lead with my chest coming forward. Maybe your elbows press in on your thighs, your calf. But it's not so much that your elbows are pressing into your legs as if your legs are pressing up into them and they're just holding them there. Your arms are like that upper limit. And then on your next inhale, release. Bringing your knees into your chest, slowly lowering down onto your back. Your knees are still up to the sky. You might bring them in, rock them back and forth. And at this point, if you would like to have some support, we're going to go into bridge. Feel free to grab your pillow, your blanket, or your block. But also, if you want to take on bridge without, that's totally fine. So everyone's going to start out, their feet are planted on the mat, their arms are alongside their body. And then we're going to imagine as we lift, we're bringing our legs together. Inner thighs are squeezing together. So let's do that. On the next inhale, press down into the earth with your heels, sending your hips up to the sky. And then if you have that equipment that you want to place underneath your sacrum, that space right above your booty, your lower back, feel free to do that. If you're up in the air on your own, imagine yourself squeezing your inner thighs together, really hugging in through your booty and your legs. And if you're up on your own, release down, allowing yourself to rest on the earth. For those that are in a supported position, let's take our hands overhead. And imagine if we were gripping opposite elbows. So this will help to open through the shoulders like we've been doing all of class. And if you're ready to come up into your second bridge, press down into the earth, sending your hips up to the sky. Once again, really wrapping the muscles of your butt, of your hips, engaging your core. And if you're up, go ahead and lower down. Those that are in our supported position, let's take our hands out to a goal post and look over to the right. Come back to center and then look over to the left. And those that are on their own without the support, feel free to press up into your third and final bridge. Maybe you clasp your hands underneath you. While those that are in the supported position, continue to slowly Take their gaze up and over, looking to the right, looking to the left. Those that are in non-supported, your head is straight up, no movement. And then lower down. If you're using a prop, press into the earth to send your hips up so that you can pull that prop out from underneath. Set it off to the side. And extend your legs out in front of you. All of us, let's take our arms up overhead, point our toes. Inhale as we stretch throughout the front of the body, maybe one foot, then the other foot, one hand, then the other hand. And then release, bringing our knees back into our chest. Maybe we come into a happy baby, which means that our hands go to the outside of our pinky toe edge. Once this is another nice way to allow gravity to just stretch out through our hips, stretching out through our lower back and our sacrum, making sure that we're really just grabbing our feet so that they don't like fly out. You can see that mine stay in this position. I'm not forcing them in anything. Rocking back and forth, side to side. Stretching one foot up into the air, stretching the other one. And then bring the soles of our feet together once again, hugging that hook, our feet together, breathing here. And then allow our knees to come together, placing them down on the earth. And then slowly take both of your knees over to the right side as we allow the top body to stay planted. Feel that stretch alongside the left shoulder into the chest as we open. And if it feels comfortable for you, you can close your eyes, starting to relax into our final couple poses. Nice even inhale and exhale. And then bring your arms back to both sides of your knees. Slowly rock them into center. Bring them into your chest. And then slide them out until you twist to the left side, keeping that right shoulder planted, your arm open. The upper body is secure on the earth. Continue to focus on that even inhale and exhale. If you're feeling any points of tension or areas that need a little bit more stretch, send your breath there. And on your next inhale, bring your hands to your knees, bringing them into your chest, drawing some circles on the ceiling. And then allowing yourself to open out into our final resting pose. Just like we did earlier this week, you're welcome to stay in a traditional Shavasana, corpse pose, laying on the mat. Or if you'd like to continue to elevate and open the heart, feel free to grab that equipment that you had at the beginning of class. Just place it along the long side of the mat. No need to prop it up. Scoot your butt up against it. And then slowly walk your arms back, allowing yourself to elevate your upper body coming into your Shavasana. No matter what pose you've chosen to end our class in, your arms and legs are open, palms are up, toes might come out to the side, taking up that space that you need, that you have the right to. Thinking of that intention, maybe it was compassion, maybe you had another word. Let's inhale our intention together through our nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale the intention through our nose. Exhale through the mouth. Rest here. Allow your eyes to close if they aren't already. And just focus on the breath, or allow that to fall off even. Offer yourself compassion or whatever your intention was for these last couple minutes we're together, knowing that I'll watch the time for us so that you can relax. Start to notice your breath. Taking a little bit longer of an inhale, a little bit longer of an exhale. Sending movement to your fingers, to your toes. Rolling out through your wrists and ankles. If it's comfortable for you, feel free to keep your eyes closed for the rest of class. For those that want a little bit more light, just open your eyes a little bit. And then let's all turn to our right side. Allowing yourself to take a couple breaths here. Coming back into the body, to your physical space. And then press down into the earth with your left hand, slowly guiding yourself up, head and neck last to rise. And then we'll meet in a comfortable position. Can be in a supported Virasana up on your shins. Can be cross-legged like I am in Sukhasana. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to heart center. having a slight downward gaze. Take a couple breaths here. Reminding yourself of that intention that you started out with. And if you'd like, please join me on an inhale for Om. Let's inhale together. Bring your hands to your third eye. Give that spot a little bit of love. And bow down forward, sealing our time together. Thanking yourself for coming to the mat today. Rising up, offering it to everyone else. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I hope that you get to enjoy some time with friends and family for the holiday. Bye, see you next time.